Man 504 coming at you one more time. 1 second, folks. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead on and get straight on into this thing. Friday, out there, everybody. Happy Friday and happy Friday to the day. Man, so today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about believing in your greatness, man. Yes. We are we are talking about believing in so today we are talking about believing in your greatness, yes, when you say it, it echoes. 'Cause that's how powerful it is, man. Let me do it again. Believing in your greatness. Hey, what's going on, man? I saw you. I think I saw you live earlier this morning. I think yesterday. So I'm just trying to. We talk about believing in your greatness, believing in your power, believing in your greatness. I'm just trying to be like you. Just see you on the grind, on the move, and everything else in between, man. So, the man, the amazing thing I will say is that I heard this yesterday, and I want to talk about it yesterday, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the vibe, man. But today I am. So let's go ahead and get straight into this thing. Um, Man, in believing in your power and believing in your greatness, that's your attitude that's going to shift and change your altitude towards wherever you're trying to go. It's I heard Jay-Z talk about this. Of course, everybody's journey is going to look different. And, just because somebody tells you that, somebody might say, like, well, man, you can't do that. Well, he said, no, you can't do that, because maybe it's not your path, it's not your destiny, he said, Jay-Z said his uncle told him that he wasn't going to be able to sell 1 million records. And he said he's done that time and time and time again, so and he said that it's not that it's not that his uncle was speaking any malice or anything towards him. It's just the fact that he didn't know his vision, his talent, and and all that stuff. Yeah, it took him a while to get to where he's going, but yeah, he's been doing this since, like, yeah, I don't know, like the 90s or whatever. But now he's like over the stratosphere as far as his talent and business acumen and all of that stuff. And that's the thing, it's always going to look different. And you are going to one of the best bets you can make in this life is you betting on yourself, and that's everything, who you are, who you're becoming, because who you were, who you were 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 2 years ago. That's not the same person that you are now. Like Jay-Z said, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is what Hove, H to the OV. For real, man. And like somebody said, it's like, even though, you go, let's say maybe old friends or family or whatever you ever seen in years, you may have to reintroduce yourself, man, because you're maybe a little older, you're grown, you're into new and exciting things. Your mind has shifted, has expanded, so those the conversations may go back to, last time you saw them when you were a kid, but now you see things, now you see things so much more clearly, man. It's like you are so much more talented and amazing than who you were, yesteryear. And that's the thing that people aren't it's like people aren't going to naturally understand that. They're not going to understand, all the stuff that you had to do. I was thinking about it earlier, like, man, when you go through this, like, when you go through your spiritual journey, it is not like, yeah, I'm gonna get all of this power and manifestation and love and light and blah blah blah. It's like, nah, man, it's not like that. It's like, uh, hey, what is going on? It's like what Dick Gregory said. It's like, once you put on the magic glasses, then everything changes. Once you're chosen and you buy into that, you're like, okay, cool, man, I'm with it. Let's do it. And it's like all systems go. You can't ever take those glasses off. There's no going back. So some people are happy where they are. Doing doing what they're doing, and if that's the height of the pinnacle of their success, cool. But you gotta that's great. But yeah, man, the magic glasses, and it's because every I am a testament and a testimony to that. Everything does change. You know, I've I mean, it's waves, man. It's waves, and like somebody said, there's levels to this thing, and it is so leveled. And you continue to grow, and you continue to like the becoming. You continue to shoot like a rocket ship to where you're to where you're naturally going, and you start to see those people who um believe in you just like you believe in yourself. And that's where it starts with you believing in yourself, tapping in and buying into to your true power, to your true potential, whatever you want to cover that with, you know God or Allah or your ancestors or the Orisha or whatever it is. But I'm a very firm believer that all of that stuff, religion, whatever, it all started, in one spot, one place. And then with culture and history and time, it kind of morphs into, who knows what our ancestors saw, or, I mean, I do have a great feeling that they were definitely more, there was no, I've heard time again that there was no term called like spirituality. For them, maybe it was just power, or it was just natural to them. So if you would say like, well, hey, you would go back in time and say, yeah, hey, I'm on this spiritual journey. They would, they may look at you a little strange because maybe in the native tongue there is no, maybe back then there was no word for spiritual, seriously. But yeah, it's definitely time to it's definitely time. Well, it's been time to dig in, but it's definitely more time to dig in now, more than ever, because that everything that you have been looking for, everything that you've been wondering about, everything that you have been, I don't know, pacing the floor at night. I was talking to a group of folks last night, and it's like this, everything that continues to happen in this journey, it continues to blow the mind. And you would think like it's you would think it's normal at this point, that like, well, man, I've seen there, but there's so much more to see. There's so much more to experience. You think you think you've elevated, or you think you've elevated to your highest point. Oh no. There's so much more growth, there's so much more to see. There's always so much, it's always, being happy within, great, but it's the more, it's the more you do it, the stronger you get, the wiser you get, the more, you know the more blessings you see, in your life. And It's like the more, richly fulfilled you are, and in all of those aspects that you've been calling on, that you've been, yearning for, in your life. And, people are like, well, you're that's that was, we had those dreams when we were a kid, but that kid inside of you hasn't died yet. You're still, you're still a believer, you're still an overachiever, you're still a kid at heart, and you're like, maybe something like, man, why do I relate to kids so much? Or why, why do I work with them? And, maybe that's the reason why, because people, maybe when you were a little younger, times were different. Maybe it was that, maybe people weren't on that, hey, start, start a business, multiple streams of income, but maybe there was little seeds of doubt planted in you. When I say little seeds of doubt, I mean like little to no seeds of doubt planted in you. When we were younger, uh, people start telling you stuff, and you start being around all of this negativity that may shape you somewhat, and then you have to break that. You have to break and shatter that mold. So, when you go to work, or when you're around certain people that are just on a certain level, and they're going to stay there, and there's no growth in their life and on their path, and they're not getting downloads, they're not feeling the shifts, they're not um they don't feel the timelessness that's incorporated, into your DNA, into who you are. They're not seeing all of these numbers that feel so powerful, that feel like some type of like cosmic countdown. They don't see your angelic cosmic wings that are on you, because they never put the glasses on. Maybe they had an opportunity, and that's one thing about life. We have choices, and some of those choices will, maybe they decided to do the family thing, and and work, and go to school, and they're in their chosen field, and that's all they're going to do. But maybe that's their path, that's their destiny. That's okay. And there is greatness in that. There is honor in that. But some of us have a deeper path, so to speak, and we we have a lot more to do, and we have a lot more to see. And it's I heard somebody yesterday saying, they were talking about spiritual people, and how what they're charging, and blah 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 blah, and what they're seeing. And one guy was like, well, he was saying something about, you can get a book and read on that stuff, and kind of train yourself. I mean, everybody's not like that. Some people actually need to go sit down, and and learn under somebody, for a certain amount of time. For me, it was, learning, it was church. And then after that, it was just ancestors popping in, teaching, stuff, unraveling in the DNA, and I never had to go and get other than going to school, like higher education after, high school. I never had to sit in anybody's classrooms. And it's almost like on the job training. It never stops. That's the thing about it. That's how it can be such this emotional roller coaster, taking it one day at a time. Yesterday you felt so powerful. Today, I mean, you may feel 75% of what you felt yesterday, but maybe you had a certain dream last night, like I did, that woke me up at 2 in the morning, and I don't know when I went back to sleep. I don't know, for real. I went back to sleep eventually. I woke up all groggy, and once I woke up, and I ate, and I felt a whole lot better. And that's what it is. You're just waking up. So, you still got the whatever in your eyes. You gotta shower, get all of that stuff off of you. You haven't even said yes, I'm totally into this journey yet. And you're you're hearing people talk about this or talk about that, and it sounds cool, man. It does. It's like those. I might go on YouTube and hear about people talk about being in houses with different energies and all of that stuff like that. It sounds cool. Or going into those asylums where people who maybe like their psyches cracked because they couldn't handle the pressure. Maybe they just didn't have the right people around them, because they were seeing stuff and people were like, well, this person is lost their mind, so we got to put them in this asylum, and they're going to give them drugs and shock therapy treatment, and just all the stuff that's wrong, that shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? But and if you say, I'm just going to tell you, if you say yes, everything changes, man. You stop hearing from people that you have, that you might have talked to. You see things, you hear things. You're going to understand the greatness. Something, it's a strain, man. It's going to take your gifts and your talents. It's gonna take them to a whole nother level, man. That's beautiful. It really is. But there are other things that come with it that you're gonna feel. The full moons, the new moons, sometimes people are these retrogrades, and all of that stuff. That don't really affect me anymore. But if you're truly into this stuff, if you're in, like, if you are in the know, you're in the know. Like, if somebody told me about Microsoft and Google stock back in, and Apple back in the day, I'd be way better off financially now than, now the new wave is, crypto and NFTs and all that stuff. So you get into that now, maybe 10, 20 years from now, you're on easy street because you bought into it. For people, put $5, $10 on something, and 6, 7, 8 years, they're millionaires. Seriously, there was a story of a lady. I think she bought some crypto 2014 maybe, and so she checked it. Her friend who got in with her, he bought a whole lot more, and she was like, he's worth millions. So she got back into her account, and it was like $2 million just sitting there. So you never know. But believing in your power, investing in yourself, again, everybody's story is going to look different. It's going to feel different. It's going to be different. That's okay. What makes you you is going to help you to continue to grow down this path, and that's something nobody can, that's something that nobody can take away from you. Remembering truly who you are, from way back when up until now. This, maybe today this is someone's wake up call. You never know. Or this is a reawakening, because we keep going through these things, man. Like, if somebody was to tell me, somebody was to ask me, like, well, what happens when we die? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Some people believe in reincarnation. Some folks believe in, some form of paradise, some form of damnation. I'm not sure. Maybe it's what you believe. What happens to you. I don't know. Maybe it's the whatever work you put in on this side. Good tidings and karma and all of that stuff. Maybe that gives you some golden ticket to go somewhere else. Like me, I don't want to come back as a butterfly or I don't know, some deer that's gonna get eaten by a lion. I don't know. I'm good on that. Because there's it's so much, man. So much in the afterlife. There's so much. So I'll just say, honestly, earnestly, we're just scratching the surface with it. We're going to continue to learn, and we're going to continue to grow. I know I am. They say, hey, what is that old thing? I know you are, but what am I? So, I know who I am, but who are you? That's the important thing. It's again, it's all in what you want. Seriously, it's all in what you want. Maybe because maybe you have not because you ask not. Seriously, or maybe you are just starting to believe and you can't believe it, but you're seeing it, but it's like somebody said last night, man. It's like it's this stuff it is very much so mind blowing. It is, it's like all that stuff that you might have learned in church is like you're starting to see it in real life, like I've seen people heal with their hands. I'm not talking doctors in hospitals and all of that stuff. Like I've literally seen and felt people heal with their hands. Like I was doing it. I remember like when I was doing massage therapy, there was a guy. He came in and he was like, "Man, my wrist. Something happened to his wrist." And I like massaged it and I used these hot towels and I just, moved it around and focused on that area. Maybe it worked on some nerves or whatever, whatever. And man, when he got up off that table, it was like you would swear somebody was in church giving a testimony. It's like, oh man, my hand, my wrist feels so amazing. And like, how did you do that? I mean, I don't know. I just, uh, what do you say? I am that I am, trying to explain it. Like, just, some, again, it's that some people have that healing touch, with their words, with their energy. You just kind of like being around them. The opposites of it is that sometimes there are going to be people that are going to be thrown off by it because of what you naturally have, and that's, that's what it is. I don't know. It's like, hey, it's not my fault, Grumple still skin that you suck. You know what I mean? And that I'm shining. Don't throw that over here, man. Like for real, for real. It's like, well, yeah, man. But just believe in your power, man. That's the, like I said, that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so, and that's what it is. Let that power start to transition you to something else because there are other things that you have to do out there, not just for you, but there are other people counting on you, and these people you may not even meet, like what I may be doing now may affect people, who knows, hundreds of years down the line, and they may say, wow, that's my great great, blah 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 blah. And I'm so glad that um so glad that he put himself out there. We have all of this content we could check out and whatever, 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 you know. But yeah, man. Again, believe in your power, believe in your journey. I hope everybody has a great day, a great weekend, all of that stuff. And the journey, honestly, it is just beginning. I know there's a lot of stuff. There's so much that we've seen. I'm telling you, man. There's so much that we've seen in the last, like, from 2020 up until now. Like, who would have ever thought, a pandemic and all of this and um the spiritual stuff and wars and all, man, who would have ever thought, you know what I mean? And just all the insurrections and, but um these things, it's some of it is sad that it's happening, but honestly, some of it really needs to happen, you know, and not saying that it needs to happen to punish anybody, but it is it's like in the Lion King. It's a circle of life, and some of it, um, some wars are just not yours to fight, and that's what it is. Be aware of it. Of course, I always said be aware. I'm not saying turn a blind eye to somebody else's misery and like, oh well, sucks to be them. No, not even saying that. I don't believe in that last minute thoughts and prayers and all that stuff, man. You have to be in tune 24/7 because uh, greatness can, greatness can knock on your door today, and just saying, just be ready, just be prepared at all times. So yeah, and give yourself the grace and the knowledge and the fortitude, the understanding, the peace in your life to accept it. Yes, it is for you. It is not for anybody else, because you continue to believe in yourself, and everybody thought you fell off the map for whatever reason, and they don't understand, and it's not for them to understand. Lean not to thine own understanding. So this is your truth, your voice, this is you, this is your thing. Your time to shine over and over and over again. But alrighty, folks, I'm going to leave that at that. And with that said, I am Mr. Soul of a Man 504. Hope everybody has a great and amazing day. But as always, folks, and if you guys want to book a session with me, go to my LinkedIn page on this is on Clubhouse or one of these many streaming sites I'm on, YouTube, Facebook, or what is that? LinkedIn. Yeah. So yeah, just hit my just hit the little thing, and or buy one of my books and all of that good stuff, man. But as always, folks, I'm Alice Peace.